From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, August 17th. A gorgeous morning with several hours very comparable to what we had yesterday. Gonna have a little bit of a disruption later today, though. There'll be clouds moving in with rain chances and winds picking up as well. Isolated to scattered showers and some isolated storms are possible. It just depends on where you are. Highs are going to be in the low 80s. Humidity values will also rise a bit because the wind's out of the south instead of the north. But our Storm Track 8 meteorologists say don't cancel any plans. If you are in a place that gets some of these rains, they should be very brief and not too heavy. And this morning, we're detailing the history of the policy that has drawn national attention to Hamilton East Public Library. The controversy surrounds the policy that led to the reshelving of John Green's The Fault in Our Stars. The policy was ratified in January. The document shows it's been updated 3 times, dating back to December of 2022. According to the new policy, complaints about specific books came as early as July of 2021. The library says it launched the 3-part reorganization of the teen zone as a result. Library staff says that the current reshelving effort includes reading every book in the teen zone from cover to cover to determine if it's appropriate. They tell News 8 they've reviewed more than 25% of the high school collection so far. And the state Secretary of Education says new third-grade reading test results show a crisis that needs to be urgently fixed. The Indiana Department of Education released results from the 2022-2023 iRead3 assessment yesterday. According to the results, nearly 1 in 5 students are still struggling to read at the end of 3rd grade. The results show that 81.9% of the more than 65,000 third graders in the state demonstrated proficient reading skills. That is up 0.3% from the 2021-22 school year. However, scores remain 9.5% lower than the state's highest rate of 91.4% during the 2012-2013 school year. The Department of Education's goal is to have 95% of students statewide pass the assessment by 2027. Changes aimed at making Broad Ripple safer may be working. The president of the Broad Ripple Village Association says crime is down in the Northside Business District. After a series of shootings, including one that left 3 people dead, the area added more lights and surveillance cameras, and some bars now close at 1 in the morning instead of 3. Our team also spoke to the owner of Hopcat Bar. He contends the Red Line Indigo route is bringing problems in from other parts of the city. He also says he makes sure his workers leave in pairs to be safe. IMPD needs your help finding a missing woman. Officers are looking for 28-year-old Rachel Solomon. She's described as 5'3", with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen Sunday on the city's west side. We have a photo of her on wishtv.com if you'd like to take a look. Investigators believe she could be in danger and may need medical attention. If you see her, you're asked to call 911. Police in Louisville are taking measures to keep drivers from Indianapolis and other cities from coming there to street race or spin. IT-Mate first showed video in March of cars doing burnouts and donuts in parking lots and on the interstate. Louisville police then created an ordinance to impound cars for months at a time and then fine the drivers. Police say they seized nearly 50 cars in 3.5 months.
And they had people from both Indianapolis, Nashville, Cincinnati, and even as far away as Atlanta that had come to our community thinking that this was an area where this was an accepted or that we would look the other way and allow this to happen.
IT-Mate asked the office of Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett if a similar ordinance could be developed here. The response, the City-County Council would need to study legal implications before considering it. A new CDC report says 110,000 people died of drug overdoses nationwide in 2022. According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, 6 out of 10 opioids purchased online contain some amount of fentanyl. We spoke to Wish TV medical expert and former Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams about the statistics. He says many young people have been acclimated to a culture of buying pills online or buying them from someone they don't know. Dr. Adams tells us that the state's working to highlight the availability of naloxone. He says 60% of opioid overdoses are witnessed, but naloxone isn't administered.
So we want to make that available on college campuses. We want people to be aware of it. And we also just want young people to be aware of how dangerous, how one bad decision can take your life in an instant. Buying pills online or getting pills from someone who you don't know and that haven't been prescribed for you.
According to a new poll from KFF, more than 25% of American adults say they or a member of their family has been addicted to opioids. A federal appeals court is backing some limits for the abortion medication mifepristone. The court overturned a previous ruling revoking the FDA's 23-year-old approval of the drug, but it left intact part of the ruling that would end the availability of the drug by mail. The court also ruled the drug can only be used through the 7th week of pregnancy instead of 10 weeks, and it must be administered in front of a physician. The restrictions cannot take effect until the Supreme Court weighs in. The Biden administration says it will appeal the decision. A judge has approved the demolition of the home in Florida where 4 girls died in a fire in 2016. An order filed yesterday said all parties involved agreed there's no need to continue preserving the house. As we've reported, investigators think someone set fire intentionally to the home. The girl's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the former landlords in 2018. That's expected to go to trial next year.
No one is above the law. And the president and all those implicated are entitled to the presumption of innocence that every American enjoys. Despite what the former president and his allies have said for now more than 2.5 years, and continue to insist to this very hour, the Georgia election was not stolen, and I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th.
Mike Pence talks about the new charges against his former boss and makes his most emphatic statements yet about the 2020 vote. The new comments from the former vice president and Indiana governor happened in Indianapolis at the convention of the National Conference of State Legislatures. Pence called the indictment against Trump a product of a justice system biased against conservatives. Pence also addressed reports Trump would not participate in the upcoming Republican presidential debate. According to a CNN report, Trump has not done any prep for the debate and is instead proposing counter-programming for the event. Pence says he hopes the former president will still take part.
I've debated Donald Trump 1,000 times, just not with the cameras on. I do hope he comes. I hope we have a fulsome debate, and I hope it's the beginning of a vigorous debate about the future of the country.
The debate is set for next Wednesday in Milwaukee. Prosecutors in Georgia want a March trial for former President Trump and the other 18 defendants. The Fulton County District Attorney has proposed March 4th as the opening date. That would put the trial in the heart of the primary season, one day before Super Tuesday, when many delegates are at stake. The 19 defendants have more than 1 week to turn themselves in. The DA wants it done by next Friday. A ban on gender-affirming care for minors is now in effect in North Carolina. The state's General Assembly voted Tuesday to override the veto of Governor Roy Cooper. Minors who started treatment before August 1st can continue their care if their doctor deems it's necessary and with their parents' consent. North Carolina is the 22nd state to restrict access to such care. Teachers, students, and labor leaders are protesting Florida's new standards for teaching Black history. Dozens gathered yesterday to march to a Miami school district headquarters. The new curriculum standards require teachers to instruct middle school students that enslaved people, quote, develop skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit.
We are protesting the African American history standards that are an abomination, really, in terms of trying to relegate and marginalize the history of Black people and to pretend as if the atrocities of the past didn't happen. It's really important that we teach our children the truth, that we support our teachers, and that they not be under attack for teaching the truth. So that's why we're here.
Florida governor and Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis has repeatedly defended the standards. He says critics are intentionally misrepresenting them. 2 new lawsuits accuse social media companies and a body armor manufacturer of enabling the man who shot 10 people to death in a supermarket in Buffalo, New York. Attorneys filed the suits Tuesday on behalf of a group of survivors and the son of one of those killed. The suit specifically names Reddit, YouTube, a local gun shop, and others. They claim the companies provided motivation, equipment, or knowledge to the gunman. Prosecutors say the killer, who was white, went to the store specifically looking to kill Black people. As the confirmed count of fatalities in the Maui wildfires climbs to 111, authorities on the island are answering criticism for not using the island's warning system. Hawaii has 400 emergency sirens, and 80 of them are on Maui. There was a test of them earlier this month. Many have said they should have sounded when the wildfire started. The state's top emergency manager claims They may have made the situation worse because people would have presumed a tidal wave was coming, not a fire.
Had we sounded the siren that night, we're afraid that people would have gone Malka. And if that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire.
Malka means inland or toward the mountains. Hawaii's governor says more than 1,000 people are not accounted for. In Scott County, the EMS deputy director is being remembered as a selfless leader. Devania Shulin's husband says Shulin died after giving birth. Her husband said on Facebook their third child was born Monday in Seymour. Julin was then flown to an Indianapolis hospital where she died Tuesday. The EMS chief says Julin was the biggest unsung hero of the department, and her number is now retired. A new Indianapolis Public Library branch is set to cut the ribbon Saturday. It's the Fort Bend branch, and it's specifically designed for people who have autism. According to the CDC, 1 in 36 children have autism, along with 2% of adults. Staff at Fort Bend completed special training to become a certified autism center. Now, librarians can better understand the educational, social, and emotional needs of patrons. The branch offers a private, quiet area for people to decompress. It will also offer sensory-inclusive programs, classes, and events for all ages. Designers even used cool green, brown, and blue colors throughout the building to honor Fort Harrison State Park. There's a historical exhibit with the history of Fort Harrison. The United States military decommissioned the land in the 1990s. The grand opening is Saturday at 10 in the morning. The Fort Bend branch is at 9330 East 56th Street. Indianapolis approved more than $14 million in bonds to fund the project. More than 200,000 people are expected to use the 22,000 square foot building a year. One noted travel expert says it's time to start booking flights for the winter. Scott Keys founded Scott's Cheap Flights, which is now going.com. He says travel trends mirror other common buying patterns. He says there are 5 tips for getting good deals. Book 2 one-way flights instead of a round trip. Use points or miles when you can. Check fares at other nearby airports. Travel internationally over Thanksgiving because most other Americans travel domestically then, and travel on the holidays if you can instead of the days surrounding them. Tonight, the Colts will hold the second sold-out evening practice with the Chicago Bears. It runs from 6 to 8 this evening. Fans can buy $6 Bud Lights for Thirsty Thursday. Colt City's open 4 to 8. The first 500 fans inside get a free koozie. And the workout is the last chance to see the Colts practice at Grand Park this year. After tonight, the team turns to closed practices at team headquarters and a combined workout in Philadelphia. Chicago's head coach was the defensive coordinator for the Colts before he took the Bears' top spot. As for the Colts, the team's head coach says the combined practice helps the players and the fans. The Colts take on the Bears this Saturday in the Colts' only home preseason game. And today is the final $3 Thursday at the Indiana State Fair. The discount applies to gate admission, midway rides, and some food options. Noel Torres takes the free stage tonight at 7:30 as part of Latino Fest. The gates are open from 9 to 9. And also today, the Indie French Theater Festival kicks off downtown. It's a 3-week celebration. Organizers bill it as the city's largest and most vibrant performing arts event. There's so much going on all around Mass Ave and downtown areas. Just go to wishtv.com, look for this story, and you'll find links to all of the different events that you can take advantage of. Some really cool street performances as well. Finally, to business headlines. New York City banned access to TikTok on government-owned phones. The decision follows a review by the NYC Cyber Command, which deemed the app a threat to the city's technical networks. Hawaiian Electric Industries is speaking with advisory firms to address financial and legal challenges over its potential liabilities in the wake of the Maui wildfires. The firms will help Hawaiian Electric navigate the lawsuits and other financial problems that will stem from the wildfires. The stock's already down about 55% so far this week. Officials from 7 states wrote to U.S. antitrust enforcers asking for Kroger's proposed $25 billion acquisition of Albertsons to be stopped. They say the deal would give a combined Kroger-Albertsons nearly a quarter of the U.S. food retail market. A Kroger spokesperson said that the planned deal would be good for consumers and store workers, and Walmart and Amazon would benefit if it's blocked. Remote workers' negative effects outnumber positive ones, according to business leaders in a New York Fed survey. Roughly 2/3 said remote work hurt workplace culture, team environment, communication, and training. The upside for employers, it helps with recruiting and retaining workers. Dunkin' has rolled out its fall pumpkin menu. The menu includes the highly anticipated return of its pumpkin spice signature latte, along with the return of the nutty pumpkin coffee and a baked goods lineup filled with pumpkin flavors. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.